Property's a popular investment, but currently many don't pay tax on any profit when they sell. That includes the Prime Minister, set to flick off his third property in recent months. Many argue that should change.
I think our current tax system is narrow and needs to be broadened.
People are earning very large incomes from capital gain, from buying and selling assets, and not paying tax on that.
The Prime Minister warns more than just property investments could be caught in the process.
I just say New Zealanders, when you talk to them, do not want to be paying a capital gains tax on their Kiwisaver, on their batch, on their farm, on their...
Did you see it? Did you see it, Whānau? Just because we're talking about capital gains tax on properties, potentially only second properties. Did you see the shell game? How he didn't answer it? He started talking about something that no one's mentioned anywhere ever, Kiwisaver. So, Mr. Luxon, what do you think about capital gains tax on a second property? Well, no one wants to see capital gains tax on their Kiwisavers. Sorry, I must have misspoke, Mr. Luxon. What do you think about capital gains tax on houses? You know, Kiwisaver, don't want to see capital gains tax on that, do you? No, sorry, third time. Sorry, I'm sorry. I must have something stuck in my teeth. Capital gains tax on a second property. What do you think of that? Oh, you know, no one wants to see that on their Kiwisaver. That's his distraction. That's his distraction. I'll play it for you one more time.
Could be caught in the process.
I just say New Zealanders, when you talk to them, do not want to be paying a capital gains tax on their Kiwisaver, on their batch, on their farm, on their small business.
In our poll, we asked, do you support or oppose the introduction of a capital gains tax on properties other than the family home?
Just checking the question there because it's this word here.
I can see how he got lost in the details there. It's a pretty
tax on that P word there. I think it says Kiwisavers. I think that's what it says. It says Kiwisaver. Properties other than the family home, so second properties. Yeah, and the response is, yeah, no one wants to see it on their Kiwisaver.
46% of voters are in support of the idea, while 41% oppose it, and 13% either don't know or preferred not to say. More New Zealanders than not in our poll say they want a capital gains tax.
Oh, did you see that guy? I want to know what this guy's doing. This looks like she's a secret agent.
Not to say.
You know, so it looks like she's a secret agent, and this guy here is the other secret agent, and they're not allowed to talk to each other. But you watch when he listens really closely, he's getting the messages. It's like the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog, and the fish swims east in the summertime. You listen to him. You watch this guy here get the secret code.
More New Zealanders than not in our poll say they want a capital gains tax.
But if you ask the question of most New Zealanders, do you want a capital gains tax on your Kiwisaver? That wasn't the question that you asked.
Correct. You are correct, Mr. Luxon. That wasn't the question asked. So we're not asking you about the question that wasn't asked. We're asking you about the question that was asked. The question that was asked was about on second properties. It wasn't about Kiwisaver. You're correct. You got it. Well done. Congratulations, Mr. Luxon. You are correct. It wasn't about the Kiwisaver. So what do you think about the question we did ask?
Question of most New Zealanders, do you want a capital gains tax on your Kiwisaver? That wasn't the question that you asked.
They want a capital gains tax on investment properties like the ones that you're selling.
Yeah.
Again, capital gains tax is not the way forward for New Zealand. You do not tax your way out of recession.
The ANZ is advocating.
And you don't cut your way to profits, Mr. Luxon, very, very clearly.
For a capital gains tax, while the ASB agrees more tax is needed.
Pretty top organisations such as the OECD, International Monetary Fund, they've come about supporting the need for a capital gains tax in New Zealand, and one suspects it's going to be one of those key election issues heading into 2026.
This poll shows there is some appetite amongst the public for a fairer tax system, but with the numbers so close, it'll boil down to which political party mounts the strongest argument, either for or against it.
That'll be the Greens. Sorry. Which political... That's happened already. This is yesterday's news. That'll be the Greens for, and no one has a good argument against. So that'll be the Greens. We got you, Mikey. We got you covered.
Labor has struggled with and paid for in the past. In 2019, the debate saw Jacinda Ardern rule it out completely. Chris Hipkins did the same in 2023, but soon it'll be back up for debate.
We've heard from more and more New Zealanders that they want a fair...
And podcasters.
If you look at the fiscal cost of an ageing population, you look at the problems we've seen across the health care sector in New Zealand, it's becoming increasingly obvious the government's going to need more money.
Tax becoming a hot talking point once more.
All right, let's.
There you go, Joey. There's the story for you. There's one more story to go about a dust up in Parliament, but I mean, what else is there to say? It's popular. It's far more popular than lots of other things they're pushing through. Yet all of them at the moment, other than the Greens, although we had Chippy, certainly sounds like he was softening and went, yep, we might have made a mistake there. But this idea of property, second property, Luxon, I think I put this out today on Twitter, and I just said they're not even trying anymore. They're not even trying. They're not even trying about blaming Labor when they blame Labor for something they've literally done when it comes to the DCC asking for money to buy houses. And they're not even trying by answering questions. This is a little tangent. I had an interview with, and I've played some audio of it from here, with Don Brash once, right? And I said to Don Brash, Don, you've described this process as applying for a job and the people of New Zealand having to employ you. Is that correct? And he went, yes. And then I played him some audio of old mate from Rover who started working in the evenings, Duncan Garner, asking him a question 7 times in a row about what he would have done in a particular situation, and he refused to answer it. And I said to him, and I'd say this to any politician, how the hell does anyone think they can apply for a job, go into the interview, and then not answer the questions? Like, what planet are you on? If we're employing you, then answer the fucking questions that we ask you. Chewy.
Well, this is the thing with Luxon. He hasn't earned his position. He was on a magic carpet ride all the way from Air New Zealand to the Prime Ministership. He didn't have to convince anybody. This is the thing. He hasn't earned people's votes. So why would he know what that takes? His absolute bait and switch of like going from capital gains tax, which is tax on selling an asset, to somehow involving your Kiwisaver. Am I selling my Kiwisaver to someone? Is that what's happening? Where does the analogy work? He's obviously gone, house investment.
Mm-hmm.
That's the single leap that he's taken. He's also forgotten that if a capital gains tax comes in, he's the lawmaker. He's the one that sets what it would be. But he knows this is something that he can't touch because he'll be fucking criticized on it again. Like, it is a broadly popular thing. People can see the writing on the wall. And the one thing that we need to do is take some heat out of our housing market.
Yeah.
This is a problem that we have been fighting. We created it in the early 90s. We've poured petrol on it ever since. And we're sitting here going, why is everything fucking out of whack? Why are we spending $1.3 million on an uninsulated villa from the 1912s? It makes no sense. But because it's the safest place to park your money. No other investment has the fucking life jacket that housing investment does. You got your interest deductibility, you sell it, you don't have to pay any tax, all of that money goes in your fucking hand. Why would you put your money anywhere else? Why would you invest it in a startup? That's riskier, and I have to pay tax on it. I'm not going to do that. Why would I put it into a local industry? For the same reasons. Why would I risk my money on something that doesn't have the protections that buying and selling old houses to each other does?